Welcome to Dead Man Talking. Tonight's story is another channel exclusive from a great friend of mine who go by the name Cow, and a very, very intense storyline this one, guys. Hope you all enjoy it as usual. Please do let us know down below in the comments what you thought. Of course, please do like and share, and don't forget to hashtag Team Fear. Without further ado, let's get into tonight's story, entitled Crimson Moonlight, The Evil Within. Let's get straight into that. Being on the run, you tend to miss the little things, like the comfort of a bed, hot meals, lazy weekends with your friends. Whoever said it gets easier as you go on never really had something to lose. It's been 2 years now on the run. Long, endless roads, trees as far as one can see. The Montana wilderness was so vast you could easily get lost in it. Bears, the odd snake here and there, maybe a mountain lion or two. Just a few things to watch out for. But most people don't really know what's out here. More deadly than any wild animal they could ever think of. No, I'm not talking about everyday wolves. Even a pack of hungry wolves isn't as bad as the evil dwelling in the shadows up here. Up until 2 years ago, you couldn't get me to go camping. But here I am today, backpacking deep in the lonely overgrown forest. Funny how things change. I was looking for a man who had 4 claw marks across his face. Tracking this man took me here, smack dab in the middle of Montana. I ran into a brown bear the other day, looking for the reservation. An old man told me that people were going missing, pets and livestock too. Sometimes without a trace, and other times a real bloody mess. It had to be him doing this, so I set off to find him. When the largest brown bear you have ever seen walked out looking angry at me for having disturbed him. He stopped and put his nose up high and sniffed the air, looked at me, and then walked off. I guess he could smell the evil hidden in me, and didn't want to have anything to do with it. The funny thing is, it didn't scare me, not one bit, thinking of it. I started to question my sanity. Is this a sign of me losing myself? Am I just at a point where I just want it all to end? I don't care if I live or die at this point. Whatever it may be, I was changing, not just physically but mentally as well. I was so tired. The long day had taken its toll on me, having walked for so long, and hot days at that. I was happy to find an abandoned barn in the woods. It was run down, old, and didn't smell too good, but it was a welcome change from sleeping on the cold, hard, unprotected ground. It wasn't much, but it would do for now. I rested my head on a makeshift pillow of hay. I closed my weary eyes, and visions of the family I'd left behind came rushing into my thoughts. All the memories of better times danced around in my head. No! I can't think of that. That's a life for someone who isn't a monster. I will never hurt the ones that I love. I have to keep going to find the one who did this to me. I think to myself as I lay there. The cold of the night crept in as the last of my thought left my head. It must have been a few hours when I felt as if every fibre of my being was going to burst into flames. I start to scream out as the pain filled me from top to bottom. But I can't. My mouth won't obey me. My eyes, they won't open. I can't scream or see. Nothing is working. What is this? My body is not mine? It's as if I'm locked in a cage of pain and torment. The burning is killing me. I feel my bones twist and turn, shifting inside my skin. I want to rip it off. Oh, please, somebody help me. Make it stop. Then it hits me. I was so tired I forgot what day it was. The cycle has started again. I was turning into a beast. Every time this happens, I see, I feel, I hear, I taste everything this monster puts me through. I'm a bird in a cage, forced to see the poor animal's fate, but a part of me is still human. For all the times he has gone on a hunt, something in him was able to stop it from attacking the humans he ran across. It was only animals that the beast killed and ate. No human has fallen to this monster that I have become. I feel something warm and wet run from my mouth. The taste of copper drips from my lips. My teeth are falling out and being replaced by new ones. One after the other, a new sharp dagger-like tooth pushes the old one out and tears the flesh from my gums. I still can't see what's going on. I don't even want to see what I'm becoming. Even if I tell myself this, some part is still curious and wants to see it. Someone help me, I scream to myself. My legs! I can hear the awful sound of bones snapping and twisting beginning to regrow. Dear God, the pain! My toenails fall to the floor as new sharp, hooked nails rip their way out. The pain is almost more than I can take. I'm sorry, I'm so sorry, I say to myself. I can't stop this. This thing will soon be free and on the hunt. What will I do if he kills someone? How will I go on knowing I have taken a life? Even if it wasn't me, I'm still to blame for this. I was so foolish to think I could do it myself. Just kill me, please! Stop me from becoming a killer. Stop this pain tearing me up inside. I didn't listen to him then, and I didn't listen to my little brother when he told me he saw a monster in our backyard. I just wanted to show him I was a good big brother. That, well, there weren't any monsters to be afraid of, and what a fool I was to think that I could go on and go out to scream into our backyard, "Go away, you big ugly monster, you're not welcome here." I looked around and nothing was out here, just a dark empty backyard with a big bright wonderful full moon overhead. I was feeling proud of myself, well thought out plan to make with my little brother feeling safe. I turn and I look at him, wanting to see his happy face, wanting to see him looking back at me. All I saw was the look of pure terror in his eyes. But he wasn't looking at me like that. He was looking at what had come down in the back from me, from our tree house. The monster was hiding up in it and had heard me yelling at him. The beast, being fast and as quiet as a cat, jumped down behind me. Not knowing why he was so gripped with fear, I start to turn, and that's when I feel something sink its teeth into my shoulder, and then it picked me up and threw me across the yard. Everything starts to go black. Am I going to die? What had done this to me? Why can't I move? I feel so heavy my body goes limp and I pass out from the pain. 2 weeks later, I wake up to my mother sobbing and holding me. "Help us," she screams. "My boy is awake." The nurse runs in and starts checking everything and calls for someone to help her. I'm so confused about what was going on. My body hurts from head to toe. I try to sit up but fall back and everything is spinning. I can't understand where I am and why my mother is so upset. More people then rush in and start messing with the equipment around me. My head hurts and I can't take it. My body shuts down and I pass out again. I wake up alone in a cold dark room and everyone has gone home. Still dizzy, I try to sit up again and this time I can. My body doesn't hurt as much. I'm so thirsty my lips are dry. I hear this loud buzzing coming from the corner of the window. It's a fly. Why is it so loud? I hear people talking down the hall laughing as they chat. Someone is pushing a cart down the hall. My ears! Make it stop, it's so loud! Stop it! I scream out and the nurse walks in and turns on the lights. The light is so bright it hurts my eyes. Are you cold? Can I get you another blanket? Maybe a little hungry. Can I get you something to eat? She turns to walk out into the hall and stops in the doorway. You're going to kill people, she tells me. What do you mean kill people? She turns around and looks at me. Her face is full of blood and has only one eye. Long slashes in her cheeks and her nose was completely ripped off. She starts to walk towards me. No! No! I scream out. Get away from me! Stay away! I jump up in bed and say, stop it! And that's when I realise no one is there. The nurse is gone. I had just having a bad dream, but it was so real. What was that? I think to myself. What was... I'm stopped mid-thought when the lights come on. Can I get you something? The voice of the same nurse from my dreams was asking me if I needed anything. She goes on about in my room checking things. You had us all scared. We thought you weren't going to wake up. I'm happy to see you're still with us. Your little brother was here not too long ago. He left you a bag of cookies. Would you like some? My body tightens up as she keeps talking, walking around the room. Stop it, it's your face. It's not all messed up. The nurse tells me with a chuckle. I didn't have time to do a good job in my makeup this morning, but I don't think it was that bad. No, your face. I don't see any blood on it. Hush now, child. You're okay, you just had a bad dream. No, I know what I saw. Shh, it's okay. She holds me and tells me it's alright in a soft voice, and that I was attacked by an animal. It was okay to be scared and confused. Anyone would be after that. But it's okay now. You're safe. It's all over. I calm down a little as she rubs my head. Get some rest, dear boy. You might have some visitors in the morning. It's okay. They just want to help you remember what happened to you. She tucks me into bed again, puts the cookies and a glass of water on the table next to my bed, and walks to the door again, like in my dream. My heart starts to pump as she stops and turns around again, like in my dream. But she isn't torn up this time. Get some rest. I mean it. She tells me. I will come back to you and check on you later. Good night, she says to me as she turns the light off and closes the door. Relieved that her face was normal, I lay back in bed, and so many things rushed through my mind as I tried to remember what happened, what had gone on that night. What kind of animal was it? I can't remember anything, I thought to myself as I slowly slipped back to sleep. Wake up, Tommy. It's your dad. I open my eyes and the daylight shines through the now open window. I close them again quickly. The light is bright and hurts them. You okay, buddy? You had us scared there. Oh, hey, Dad. I'm sorry. I tell my father as I struggle to see again. I was watching Josh and I don't know what happened. Is he okay? Where the hell is he? Oh, it's okay, buddy. He's in the hall with your mother. Can I see him? Sure. I'll get him for you. My father opens the door and calls to my little brother. Tommy's up. Come talk to your brother. He steps to the side and my little brother runs in. Tommy! Tommy! He says as he hugs me. Are you okay? Yes, little man, I'm fine. Takes more than a few scratches to stop me. Dad closes the door as he steps out into the hall. Tommy! Tommy, the monster was trying to eat you! He said, all hyper. Whoa, slow down. What monster, Josh? It was a bear or a large dog, not a monster. Just then a flash of memory rushes back to me. I see it for a second before I pass out. Its eyes. Its large glowing yellow eyes, with a look of hate in them. It's all I can see now that I remember. Josh, do me a favour, tell everyone it was a bear you saw. Then a bear attacked me. But why, Tommy? It was a... I stop him and say, just say it was a bear. When they ask you, okay, buddy? Can you do that for me, please? Okay? Okay, Tommy. I would tell him. He tells me as he wipes his nose with the sleeve of his shirt. We can't tell people what we saw. They might split us up. No one will believe what we saw. They will say we are crazy and we can't do that to Mum and Dad. Okay, Tommy, he says again in a low tone. Now go tell Mum and Dad they can come back in. He hugs me tight and then goes to the door to tell them it's okay to come back. When a man in a long black coat walks in instead of my dad. Go see your mum, son. The man tells my little brother as he walks into the room. Josh looks at him and runs out. The man closes the door and lights up a cigarette. You know you're not allowed to smoke in hospital, right? I tell the man as he lights up. He takes a long pull on it and blows it out at me. You're not going to die from a little smoke, son. Hell, I could smoke everyone on me and you wouldn't die. He tells me as he blows out another blast. The man was tall and slim with blue eyes and a black Stetson cowboy hat, with a long black coat wrapped around him. He looked like he had just stepped out of an old western movie. He must have been about in his 50s or so. Wrinkled tan skin covered his face. It looks like he'd worked out in the sun all his life. Who does he think he is with that cowboy hat on? Clint Eastwood? Are you the police? I ask the man as he takes his hat off and puts it on the sink. No, son, I'm no cop. What do you want then? I ask the man as he sits across from me. I need to ask you a few questions, son. I stare at the man with big eyes and a confused look. Oh no, he knows something. But what? Calm down, boy. You look like you're a hog about to be slaughtered. Like I said before, I'm no cop. The animal who attacked you, did you see it, boy? I better play dumb. Don't want anyone to know what I really saw. I looked at the man and tell him with a surprised look. No, it was so fast and I passed out before I could. Shut up, boy. I know you saw it. You saw the beast, didn't you? What do you mean, beast? It was a bear from what they tell me. No, boy. You know, and I know that's horseshit. You were attacked by a large canine beast that walked on 2 legs, not 4. Am I right? The man asked me in an impatient tone. I stuttered as I tried to answer the man. He slaps the bed right next to my leg and says, Well, boy? Yes, it was a beast! I saw its face. It was that of a dog, and its yellow eyes looked like it was going to kill me. I told the man. My words poured out with sobs. What was it? What was the beast that tried to kill me? The man looked at me with a look of doom. Son, you were bitten by a werewolf. And I thought I was crazy for telling myself it was a beast. Now you're telling me it's a werewolf, like in the movies. You must drink a lot, don't you? The man takes his long black coat off and his shirt. You see this boy? He tells me as he points to some nasty scars on his chest and arm. I start to turn my head. It was something that I didn't want to see. No, boy, look, he said. Look at the slashes he gave me. A werewolf did this to me. I'm only here today because a very good friend saved me. Gave his life so I could get away. My stomach started to turn from the sight of it. What are you showing me this for? Why are you showing me this? He turns and picks his shirt up and starts to put it back on. And then he tells me, I showed you this because I got a good slash from it. You got bit by it. You only get the curse from a bite, not a scratch, you see. You see what I'm saying, boy? You, now, are a werewolf. No, you're crazy. I can't be a werewolf. You came in with deep bite marks, deep lacerations on your back and shoulder. I know this because I patched you up that night. I was tracking it when I lost him. I heard your brother's cries. I ran over. When I got to you, it was already sinking its teeth into you. I shot at it and it ran off, but I didn't get a good hit on it because I was trying to not shoot you. I guess I should thank you then. No, boy. If I wasn't so soft-hearted, I would have shot you that night and been done with it. Now you too will become one. You will change and you will hunt. No stopping that now. He said with an evil smirk. At least not without silver bullets blessed by a monk. You have been watching too many old movies, you're nuts. I'm not a werewolf. Keep telling yourself that, boy. You will see when the moon is full and the hunger takes over you. You will wish you'd listened to me. The man then walked to the door. Wait, stop! What can I do? What can I do to stop this from happening? 2 ways you can do it, boy. Either silver bullet or kill the one who bit you. Not an easy choice, is it, boy? The man opens the door, stops and turns and looks at me one last time. By the way, boy, the one who did this to you has 4 claw marks across his face and only goes by the name Savage. No one knows his real name or how old he is, but he's been killing for a very long time. You will never kill him, boy. He's too smart and even more powerful than the rest. The rest, you mean? They have more? Yes, boy. But your fight isn't with them. Most keep to the treaty and stay hidden. That is until some fat piggy stumbles into their home. If you really want to kill him, talk to a man named Red Crow. You can find him on one of the Crow tribe's reservations. The man nods to my family and then walks off. After a few more days, I was discharged from the hospital. Dad picks me up and takes me home. My home doesn't feel the same as before. As I walk around and head to my room, sitting on my bed I grab my laptop and do search on the Crow tribe, in hopes of maybe they could help me. My search leads me to a website. Seems they live here, in Montana. Josh knocks on my door and peeks in at me. What are you doing, Tommy? My little brother asks me as he walks up and makes himself comfortable next to me. Are you looking for the monster, Tommy? Yes, buddy, I am. That old man told me how to fix everything, but I have to go away for a while. Can I go too? I can help you, and I have $5 Mum gave me for candy. Looking at him, I tell Josh, no, buddy, it will be okay. It's just a few days or a week and I will be back, but I tell Mum and Dad. I will tell them that I'm just going to Uncle Mark's cabin for a bit to catch some fish and rest up. I was 17 at the time, and going to the cabin was just what my family did for fun. Time to time, even though I stayed inside most of the trip. It was fun being there. Josh gets up and asks to play one of my games. Sure, buddy, anyone you want. Need me to set it up for you? No, I got it, he tells me, as he plays with some of the games. I continue to finish looking up on the Crow tribe's history. It turns out they have the belief that Old Man Coyote played the role of both creator and trickster in Crow mythology. In some versions of the Crow creation myth, there were actually 2 coyotes. The Old Man Coyote who created people, animals and the earth, and a regular coyote who had adventures and go and get into trouble. In other versions, they were one and the same. I put my laptop down and walked to my desk. Guess I should write Mum and Dad a note telling them I'm going to the cabin. I can give it to Josh and tell him to give it to them after I'm done. That night I packed up and started to leave for the cabin. When getting partway down the street, I dropped to my knees in pain. I struggled to my feet again and managed to hide in a back alley. It would be the first time that I change, and one I don't remember anything about other than the pain and trying to hide myself. I must have passed out before the change took over me. The next day comes and I wake up in a strange backyard, with a strange dog barking at me, and with part of a dead cat by my head, and some old lady telling me to get out of a yard and hitting me with a broom. Naked and confused by what had happened to me, I head back to my house. I sneak into my room and get cleaned up and put on new clothes. Just then, I get flashes of things popping back into my head like a dream, running and jumping, walking on the top of roofs. I had turned into a beast that night, and it was all coming back to me. Still, a little confused, I tell myself, it's time to go. I can't stay here any longer. Everyone is still sleeping. I grab a few things from the fridge and head out again, not wanting to wake the house and get stopped by anyone. That was 2 years ago. 2 long years have gone by. I'm 19 now, and a few days, maybe a week, has turned into 2 years. My little brother must think I abandoned him, but that's not true. I am doing this for him and everyone that I love, so no one else has to go through anything like this, like me. In my quest to find the savage, having made my way to Red Crow's home 3 weeks after leaving my own, having arrived on the reservation, I knock on his door and the guy with the braided hair and a white t-shirt comes to the door. "Are you Red Crow?" I ask him as he looks me up and down, and "Yeah, who's asking?" I tell him my name. "I'm Tommy. I was told you might be able to help me. Do you know a man known as Savage?" The man's eyes widen and he slams the door on me. "Go away," he tells me from behind the door. "Please help me. Please, Mr. Red Crow. That man or beast tried to kill me and my little brother." After telling him my story through the door, I hear the lock open and the door slowly opens, with a man looking me in the eyes. "Come in, but make it quick. I can't be a part of this. If he finds out, he will kill me and everyone I know." "Well, don't just stand there, looking dumb. Come in before he sees you." I go into his house and close the door and sit in a retro-looking chair next to a 1970s TV. The house smelled of smoke and bottles were on the floor, scattered everywhere. Thinking to myself, how can someone live like this? The man looks at me with a harsh voice, tells me to spill everything I wanted to say, and that I only have 10 minutes to talk to him before I have to go. So, I retell him everything that had happened to me. Looking conflicted, the man tells me, "Yes, I know the Savage. He killed my wife when she was pregnant with our first child. That son of a whore killed only 2 things that I loved in this world. I can see it in your face. You're one too. You're a wolf with a man's skin over him." Not knowing what to say to the man, he tells me the story of Akbar Akadia, or Old Man Coyote. He goes on to say that he was the creator of everything, even a wolf with a man's skin on him, and how only another wolf with a man's skin can kill him. You must have no fear in your heart and be ready to die if you want to kill him. Many have tried in the past and failed, losing their lives trying. Like me, they had lovers, ones killed and eaten by him. I looked for him for a long time, but he was too smart to stay in one place for a long time. But he has a town that he returns to over time. It's called Cova do Lobo, the Wolf's Pit. Now get out of my house and don't ever come back. Don't you tell anyone what I've told you and where he goes. And with that, I take my leave and head out to where Red Crow said he might be. Oh God, it's starting again. I wake from my delirious dream state, recalling the past and how I got here. My body continues to twist and contort. The transformation is almost over. Not long before I am no longer myself. My now dagger-filled mouth begins to become wider and stretched out, and I can feel the fur pushing its way out and covering my body. And then the pain just stops. In fact, I feel very good. Very good. I try to open my eyes, and again this time, they open. Like a newborn baby. I see with new eyes for the first time. The world is the same, but different, brighter. Looking around, I can see and hear things that I would never know were there before. Not 5 feet from me, a mouse makes its way through the bed of hay that I was resting on. I don't see him, but I can see the heat from it, even hear his tiny heartbeat. What's going on? This is new. How was I able to control myself this time? I could move my hands. The beast wasn't in charge of me this time. I was awake and coherent, and the euphoria of the feeling, so good, was overwhelming me. I felt as though I could take on anyone, anything. Nothing could stop me. And then it hit me like a ton of bricks, the hunger welling up inside of me. He, or me, we must eat. I'm so hungry. I've never been so starving in my life, and I like a dinner bell ringing. I hear the low moo of a cow. A small farm was just over the hill. I could smell everything, even in the minute traces of soap on the young girl who was just out picking up the tools her family had used that day and locking things up after them. I sprang to my new fur-covered feet and darted out into the night. The hunt had started, and I was off for my first meal. Before I knew it, I was in a tree overlooking the farm. I could now see the young girl cleaning up after everyone. She had fair skin and long red hair in a ponytail that draped down the back of her overalls. She was humming as she went about her work, so happy and carefree. As she put the last of the tools in the shed, I could feel my heart racing. Something in me was starting to take over. The control I was happy to have over the beast was now fading fast. What I once had was almost gone. Something primal was taking over me. No, I can't do this. I don't want to be a killer. Stop it. But the beast was fighting me for control now. My new athletic body was fast and quiet, and with a blink of an eye, I was halfway to my young unsuspecting victim when BAM! A loud shot rang out and something hit the ground next to me, missing my leg by a hair. The girl's father had been watching her clean up and got a shot off before I could get to her. Screams from her now brightly lit house rang out. Cries from the young girl's father telling her to get inside quick. The girl dropped everything in her pale hands and ran as fast as she could to the house with her father. More screams started from the farmhand's house. Men with axes and pitchforks came out yelling at me to go away. Get out of here, demon beast! And with that, the beast decided to run off and avoid any further conflict with the people of the now enraged house. I could hear cries of profanity behind me as I ran. The overwhelming smell of sulphur filled the air from the guns. I ran deep and far into the woodline. The voices had faded and I was out of shot range by now. Stopping by a large fallen tree that was hollow on one side, I sat my sore body in it, only realising I had been shot several times, but with all the chaos going on and my adrenaline pumping. And I didn't feel it until I stopped running. The pain started to set in and I passed out from it. I woke up the next day covered in dirt and blood, but the blood all over me was mine. Feeling relieved I had not killed anyone, or the young girl. I noticed all my wounds were healed, not a mark on them, and the pain was gone too. The curse was keeping me alive and healthy. In that instant, it hit me. I was almost immortal. Only silver, decapitation, and another werewolf could kill me now. Not a happy thought. But now I know maybe I could kill the one who did this to me. The man with 4 claw marks across his face. The one who was known only as the Savage. Wow. Thank you ever so much, Cal, for that amazing story there. I feel like that's the start of something bigger, a lot longer, hopefully. Of course, everybody do let us know down below in the comments what you thought. Please do like and share. As ever, don't forget to hashtag Team Fear. And remember, if you're camping or hiking in a deep, dark forest, keep your wits about you, eyes and ears open. And above all, remember, be safe, not sorry.